Oh, there it was. R3 back roads. Um, that unrecognized, and I still don't know what that symbol means. It's like something explodes, I'm pretty sure. Intense radiation. Okay. R3 back roads. And I got corrupted. Oh, I got more than I thought. Get in there, dummy. There we go. The bear. Let's see what that is. Logbook. A mirror ornament. The bear. As you look over this representation of the most handsome of beasts, you wonder if somewhere out there a bear might also be driving through the zone with a human-shaped air freshener. It's not impossible. I guess it's not. Okay, but yeah, this is when I say do this, because the add-on, it's not a trophy, but I just like having everything. Mirror ornaments. Up and at them. That'd be kind of cool if it glowed. And I'm gonna one more so I don't have 0, in case I need it for, I couldn't even imagine what now. QWERTY. That's a bobblehead. This probably doesn't have very much processing power. No, 1 bit. I'll chuckle at you or something. Alright, and these actually go in here. Alright, so yeah, I'm pretty sure everything's ready. Don't need the map yet. Fire it up. Oh, I'm just so disappointed it won't let you get burn out. A little bit of light. So what we're doing. Blinded by the light, revved up like a deuce, rolling in the night. Oh, man for man, I always like that song. Everybody thinks it says like douche, like the female stuff, but no, it's deuce, as in Deuce Coupe 1932 Ford Hot Rod. If you want to see a Deuce Coupe, a very awesome movie is American Graffiti. You got Milner with his yellow one. Get to see him race Harrison Ford at the end in his 55 Bel Air, which I love that car. They had 2 cars. One of them, I'm not certain if they repaired that one, but the other one, there's a movie called Two Lane Blacktop where they're racing cross country with Warren Oates is in like a GTO Judge, and it's like was it Dennis Wilson and James Taylor, the musicians, are driving the Bel Air. It's one of those cars. And just in case you want some extra trivia, Smokey and the Bandit, that car is used, but not in the actual filming. In the scenes where, especially like if you think at the beginning when they first start the trip, you hear the Trans Am doing the burnout at that stoplight and he takes off. The Trans Am, they consider it was weak sounding, and that car, they still had access to it, so they actually recorded it doing burnouts and hot rodding, and they used those sounds to dub over the Trans Am engine noises and the really, what you call louder hot rod sounding parts. So there's you some trivia. And I'm not certain, because I guess you got the hero car and then the stunt car, and I'm not certain if either one of those even exist anymore. It'd be sad if they just scrapped them. Because especially a Chevrolet, man, those Bel Airs, you can get every body panel, everything. You can restore those with almost no effort. Looks like Scooby-Doo. What does it say? Welcome wagon? I don't know, Michael. Oh, that might be new too. See, that's why I always check the moving trucks. A dog sticker. And this one's for the Rough Riders out there. Ah, that's cute. Oh, I hate that. There we go. I bet it gave me the truck. I thought I'd scrap that. It did. It only gave me 1 piece in the last video. Yeah. Okay. I don't even check anything. Got plenty of fuel. We're just passing through. I always stop at the truck and the tubes though. Another movie trivia that's pretty cool is if you listen to like the stuff for the movie Phantasm, it's got that 1971 Plymouth Cuda. It's a 340 model. They did some modifications to it to make it look more kind of like a Hemi Cuda. They put the moonroof thing in it for that whatever scene where he's hanging out of it. They literally just cut a hole in the car from what I understand because it didn't have one. But they said the car was ragged out, it was junk, and they didn't have the budget to get a different one or to repair it. And even back then, when you step up to a nicer Cuda like that, the parts in the car itself were not cheap, even like a 1979-80. But what they were saying is in the movie, when you see the car running, that's essentially the only time the car was running. Other than that, they couldn't get it to stay started and stuff. And they said kind of in that famous Hot Rod scene where he, where Mike, I guess his name is, gets in the car and he punches it and burning rubber and all that. It's like they were trying to get it started, it wouldn't work right. They were getting frustrated, and finally, just all of a sudden, it kicked down, like punch it, hit the cameras, and just like blah, you know, all the devastation, wheel smoke, tires, and all that greatness. And then it was like clunked out again, but they were able to get that scene in just random luck. I always thought that was cool. That's one of my favorite cars of all time, the 71 Plymouth Cuda. It's one of those that, you know, there's so many color combinations. I imagine owning one of each, and you know, I'd have to have like 10,000 of them probably. But that black on black was always pretty tight. When I was a teenager, I got like a Mopar Action magazine or something. It had a B5 blue one. It was a 70 model, but it had that. It had the black stripes. I actually had the silver shaker, black interior. I've wanted that kind of car ever since. Hell, I'd even take a Panther pink one. Those things are like super valuable though. There was a guy here locally had a Panther pink. I believe it was a Plymouth Duster. Sold it for like a lot after he restored it. I think he got like 30 grand for it, and that was like 25 years ago. I got so mad too. The guy that was showing me these, because I was looking for a Mopar at the time, this one guy had a 69 Super B for sale. It was a 383 model, but it had the air grabber hood. It was B5 blue, what I wanted. It had the white stripe, you know, it had the white, I guess it's white interior. It's like black dash all, but it had like the white door panels and all. The dude only wanted $500 for it, and I was like, oh, you know, I'll get it. Oh, I sold it like yesterday. You know, I told 2 or 3 people, and he got here first. I was like, really? $500? That was back in like 1999. Cars were a lot cheaper. I knew that was gonna happen. Engine's already messed up. We're gonna have quirks. That just pisses me off. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a mechanic's kit, but oops, got the little ray gun on it too. But yeah, this is one of those frustrating moments in life. It's like, man, I could have one of my dream cars. Because even stock, I mean, that's 335 horsepower, however, it's like 400-something foot-pounds of torque. It's not a weak car. I mean, it's not a Hemi, but who cares? Our 6-pack. But it is what it is. And I've only seen one other locally since, and it was an actual, like the A6 6-pack. It was Hemi orange, that black lift-off hood. That thing is bad. Not for sale kind of car, though. There's one guy out in the boondocks, too. Man, he actually has it's a 440, damn it. That's just all kinds of devastation here. It's a 70 model Superbird. How often do you see one of those anywhere, period? That's the one with the big wing and the nose cone. It's like, I forget what it's not the top banana yellow, that lighter yellow. It's like a regular canary yellow, but I don't remember the shade. But black top, that thing, damn. I think it had a black vinyl top. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me. But again, it was, you know, I think the guy was like a build houses or something like that, and he just, that's what he always wanted, and saved up until he had the 6 figures to get it. Can't criticize somebody for working up and earning it. There's another guy, a roofer, that I didn't know him well, but one of my friends knew him, and he had 2 cars. He had a 69 Mach 1. It was blue, white decals, black interior. It was, I think, a 351 model. I don't think it was, oh, I'm gonna throw it again. Oops. But that car was sharp. Him and his wife had restored it because that was both of their like favorite cars, so they kind of had the dream together. But he was actually, at the time he was selling a car, he roofed a guy's house with the guy, I forget, he was an older guy, and he ended up not having enough money for medical stuff, and he was like, well, I'm still, you know, a few thousand shy, and when you take this in trade, and it was like a 1951 Ford. It was a 2-door, but he had, you know, it was like he had hopped up the flathead, and I mean, it was a hot rod. I wouldn't call it a rat rod. It was originally like a brown color. You could tell by the interior where the paint, but like a tan interior, but he had flat blacked it and put the red on the rims, so it had that hot rod look from back then. But it was still stock bodied and all that. It wasn't, you know, because, you know, rat rod, they put all kinds of random stuff. But that car was sharp, and that's what he traded it for. I mean, you know, just in this area, they sell for several thousand. So if you think of the dollar value, he got his money's worth. It sounded cool too. He got in and we hot rodded down the road in his front of his house. It wasn't like what I would call super fast. And there was 3 of us in there probably weighing it down too, but the, you know, those old flatheads, when they're kind of built up, even though they're not, you know, as powerful or effective as a lot of your overhead valves, they're still just, they sound awesome. They got that, you know, pocket, not going anywhere fast, but it's not for lack of theatrics. Made me real happy. And he wasn't even asking much for it, because I mean, you had a perfectly restored car. You know, what, again, it wasn't factory colors or anything. Hey, this radio thing's popped up. Damn, I'm gonna toast my car, my headlight, my engine's messed up again. This is the worst corridor. And they put these things so close together. Okay. I'm right at where I want to be. I can't remember. I lost concentration. I think it was asking like $3,500 for it, and you know, that was like really probably a lot less than the car was worth. But that's, I think, about what the dude owed, so he's just making, you know, trying to break even on the job, and he wanted, you know, a quick turnaround. But yeah, he used to do like furniture delivery and stuff, so I'd go out all kinds of places delivering, you know, the furniture, and you'd see all kinds of cars for sale. But people don't post them, you know, so you'd never know they're for sale unless you pull up in the driveway and they'd be like, oh yeah, I got this, you know, 2-door black, triple black 68 Impala Super Sport. They had a 427. They were only wanting $1,500 for it, and I was dirt poor. I was like, really? Or it could have been a 396, but I'm thinking it was a 427. It was worth more than the $1,500. That's one good thing about living in some of these dirt poor places, is sometimes you can catch a pretty good deal. You do have to look at rust, because, you know, Arkansas has all the humidity, the rain. You know, we don't really salt the road, so you don't get that like if you're getting something from Chicago or something, because I've seen some cars that people got dirt cheap, but man, they had to put a lot of metal work into them, and that's frustrating. And if you can't do it yourself, you end up probably spending more money than it would if you just got a good one. But another guy, man, he had two cars I wanted. I think he's wanting like $2,500 for each. One was a '65 Chevy Impala. I can't remember if it was an SS or not, but it was that turquoise green inside and out. I'm thinking it was a small block. I don't know if it had I think it was 327 in it. Automatic bench seats, but it was gorgeous. And he had a Torino, an early Ford Torino, 351 Cleveland, 4-speed. It was kind of that forest green inside and out, had a dark green vinyl top. I can't remember the year model. It was like a 72.3, that kind of the big boxier one. Angry abductors. See, I hate angry abductors. We're gonna make this turn. Oh, it's in gear. That was another couple cool cars I came across. What else? I'm pretty sure there's more I'm forgetting about. Alright, we're on the road now. About right here. I'm about to get those probably back to back. Oh man, let's see. There's been so many cars over the years though. And I've bought, the ones I got, but I always seem to like have to settle for something lesser than what I wanted. I always get like my Sabre, big old 4-door. That's maybe I would, if I got my way, I'd have a 2-door Wildcat with the 430, not the 4-door LeSabre with the 340. Want the hot rod. When I first got out of high school, there's another guy that his dad was selling his cars. He had a lot of heart problems, just wasn't going to do anything with them anymore. And he had two. Well, he had two I wanted. So one of them, one of them was a '68 Dodge Coronet 2-door. It was that, I think they call it Corporation Blue. It almost looked like Richard Petty's car in that color, that kind of tealish bluish color. Had a white interior. And it had a little 318, but it was a 2-door fastback, whatever they call them. It was a nice car, and he was only wanting like in the $1,000 range. I think he was asking $1,800, and the car was like really good body and everything. It was probably well worth it. But the one I really wanted, because I had two I could piece together. He had a 1966 El Camino Super Sport. I don't even remember the color now. I was thinking it was maybe red. But the thing about it was, he had bought it back in the 70s. He was pipeline in Colorado, needed a car back. And the guy that had it had actually let go. He had taken the original engine out of it. He had a 67 GTO, and he wanted to do the drag race thing. He took the 396. This is problematic. Very problematic. He took the 396 out of it, and damn you to hell. And put a blower on it and put it in a 67 GTO that had the original Ram Air 1 or 2, whatever it was, the kind of the famous one where it all started. And it was numbers matching to the transmission. It was I forget the code. It was like code YZ. It was like 400 cubic inches with the automatic. And so I wanted that, but also why I say piecing it together is I had found a 67 GTO that they basically parted it out to fix another one because it was a base model, and I think they were restoring an HO. So it didn't have an interior, but the body was like perfect, and plastic. The body was perfect. It was red. I didn't have to paint it or anything. They literally took a perfectly good car and just switched parts to one they considered more valuable. And I could have taken that engine, and it wouldn't have been numbers matching, but I would have had a Ram Air GTO. Because I think he was wanting, again, like 1,000 something for that El Camino. No, maybe it was something like 2,000, 2,200. But the GTO, they were only asking like 1,000 for the body, clean titles and everything, so I didn't have to worry about any weirdness. I mean, that would have put me in about $3,000, and then I could have easily pieced the interior together, because you know the seat frames and all that are shared between that and the Chevelles and all that. I just had to reupholster them to match, and used to at least you could find those everywhere for cheap. Okay, we're gonna make a right turn and keep with it. But that's not what I did. I did have, I think I mentioned before, the 80 model Camaro. I bought it for a while, but I didn't drive it much. It was when I mean, it was the small block 400. It was fast as hell. But it just, I wanted something older, and I just bought what I could afford at the time. And then, like, damn it, I should have just saved up. It's kind of how all these cars. I probably should just sell them all and get my Chevelle fixed up like I want it. Because the Sabre, I bought it cheap because I was like, man, this would be a burnout car. And then when I got it, you know, the backstory with the nurse lady who bought it new and all that, I was like, man, this is actually a really nice car, a really nice story behind it. And then I was like, man, I gotta take care of it. My 71 Continental is the same thing. Got this big 460 before they cut the compression ratio. Oh, monster burnouts, and I got it. It's like a medium blue with a white vinyl top white interior. It's like literally everybody thinks of it as a pimp car, and I do too. And then I got it, and it's like, man, this car's too nice to tear up. And my Chevelle is just kind of a rust bucket. You know, got a 454 for it, and I've got the interior mostly pieced together. I just, you know, I just got to do it, get the rust fixed. And I had an LTD and a Comet, but had problems. My crazy nephew brought one of his, he always called him cousin. I thought he was related for a long time, but he wasn't. Like, actually burned them because he was like freeloading and wouldn't leave, and finally I had to get grumpy with him, and that was the consequences. He tried to burn all my cars and burn the house down. I hope he died, went to jail or something, because I don't need that kind of person in my life. And then I got the 67 Galaxy, which, like, between the main thing, a lot of them could run, they just need brake work. You know, once the brakes start leaking, they fail, and then you're just, yeah, you don't want to drive that. I don't know. The Galaxy's cool. It's a two-door fastback. It's white with black interior. Had factory air and all, but all that's gone. It looks like they were going to set it up for a drag car because they made some modifications and stuff, and this car ain't big enough for both of us. Anyway, I'm rambling on, trying to be sociable. We're trying to play a game here. But no, if I sold all these randoms with brake problems, get as much as I can, and get the Chevelle running right, that would be epic. Because that 454, you know, I've got aluminum heads, you know, better, you know, all the cranks. I mean, the whole rotating assembly is like high performance, and fuel injection system, MSD, just, you'll get, good God, you know. The guy that built the engine, he estimated that it'd be pushing, you know, 550 to 575 horsepower with the combination, which doesn't seem unreasonable when you're all boring, stroking, and fuel injected. And the camshaft is a Howard's cam. Man, that thing, the lift on it's just almost not streetable. It's like 632 lift, and just you know, blah 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 blah. And you can hear the combustion chambers exploding. Get a campsite like that, but yeah, the problem is you have to have a lot of stall and everything, because that is going to. So you're basically hammering down a lot. G3 was a disaster. We're going to go to G2 now. It looks like it's in the mid-zone. I want mid-zone stuff so I can get more of that unstable. And there's one thing I haven't scanned yet. Got to figure that out. And this is obviously probably going to be a 2-part, 3-part video or something. I may cut the random crap out. I may keep my conversations just because I like talking to people. When I'm playing this game, I'm technically talking to myself. Just trying to tell y'all things you may or may not like. Alright. Let me stop this. I'd like to fix that engine. I was hoping to build the overcharged electricity, but I may have to use one of mine. Now I can get one now. Oh. Electrician's kit with built the wrong kit. Hope that keeps everything fixed. Probably have to do some scrapping or something. Because that last area is rough. There's a gas station straight ahead. I'll raid it. Top off the tank. Oh man, there's another good story. A guy out of high school that helped me trying to find Mopars. I almost like threw up when he told me. He'd found, I believe it was a 64 or 5, like Plymouth. And it had been rolled, you know, it was set up as a race car. And, let's see if I can fit in here. But it actually, the crazy thing, that it actually had the original super stock Hemi and 4-speed in it. They just like, basically just kept the engine and transmission out of the car and just like screw the car. And then I was like, and he sold them combined, he sold them for like $5,000. And I was like, dude, some of those sell for like 20, 30,000. And then he was like upset because he realized the guy that bought it probably knew he was getting a fraction of the value, because I think it ran perfectly. And it was definitely unruly. It was potent. But I was like, with whatever that Plymouth Savoy, or maybe it was like a Dodge A880 or something. It was kind of a bigger car, but I was like, man, I would have taken the whole car and I literally would have restored that thing. Maybe, no, maybe it was a 65 Belvedere, because now I'm thinking of it, that's what it would have looked like. But obviously it was an awesome car. This doesn't seem like a lot in here. Can I even get out that door? This is somewhat underwhelming. Friendly dumpster. But me being me, I could never get rid of that Hemi. I don't care if it just setting the hinges down in my shop until the day I died. It'd have been mine. So that was at least something. Okay, I'm going to drive down the road to there. Get those. But I didn't. He'd already done that, but so I didn't have the opportunity to even ask about buying that one. But it would have been cool to have an actual super stock Hemi. Man, one time when I was working at a factory, there was an older lady that, you know, they had old cars, but for them they were just old cars. And back then, you know, they would race on it. They, you know, they had like a Hemi Roadrunner that, you know, they'd got back in like the early 70s. It was damn near new. It was like a 69 model, but they like dirt track raced it. I don't know if they did any NASCAR Grand National type stuff, but no, they stripped the interior out. They took literally a hatchet and just cut extra metal out that they didn't feel as necessary for weight savings and all. You know, nowadays people would just lose their shit if you did that to a Hemi Roadrunner, but she said back then it was just a car they needed for racing. Wasn't, I didn't care, it didn't have the dollar value that a Hemi does now. And that's how, you know, just sometimes you see that you go to a place, you know, like delivering furniture, and like, you see all these old cars lined up. It's like, what are those? Oh, those were my dad's dirt track cars back in the 70s. You got that, you know, Hemi this and Cobra Jet that and big block Chevrolet 427 something crazy, and like your jaw just hits the floor sitting under a tree rusting. It's like, well, they're family history, so I won't get rid of them, but we don't necessarily have the money or the inclination to pull them out and restore them. You know, some people don't want to restore. I mean, because technically, when you got that race provenance, sometimes that in itself has value, definitely has history. But I just hate seeing them waste, because, like, man, I would drag it to my yard and let it rust, and, you know. But I would dream as big as y'all. Oh, we had a famous guy not far from where I lived. The Bill Golden Maverick, or however his name is, that he had that little Dodge van truck thing that would pull the front end off the ground for like the whole quarter mile. He lived like just literally a few miles from where I live, and sometimes you go by there. He passed away years ago. You see him pulling that, I forget what the Little Red Express is, that truck. I can't remember what he called himself, but yeah, you know, they just had him in the shop by his house. What in the hell? My engine's busted again. This is crap. I am going to repair that kind of stuff multiple times. And the headlight, the same one I just fixed. Whoa. Oh, that's right. I gotta go across here. Wait a minute, is that a... We gotta backtrack to there. This may actually, going in the mid-zone, may actually require going through the mid-zone's wall. I didn't think of that. I wasn't paying attention at orange arrows, too busy talking. Nah, those are good times though. Young, youthful, think you're gonna conquer the world, and then Oh yeah, this is the area we first crossed the wall. This is the video I failed to record. I was so mad. I'll get in here and look at it. Yes, I'm gonna stop and look at these buildings. I need to really repair this engine. I can do without the headlight, but mechanics kit. I do have a spare one of them because I actually built it. Did I not get a mechanic? Oh, that's a ceiling kit. What the hell? Let me check this headlight. Electrician's kit. Okay, let's see here. Mechanics kit. That'll fix our engine. May have to replace that engine pretty soon the way it's acting. Let's see here. Electrician's kit. Alright. Okay, basic stuff, basic stuff. Yeah, just pretty much garbage in here. Might come out to be helpful though. Alright, here we go. Or, hold on. Looks like I got a loose tire. Yeah, we'll at least keep it from falling off. It's going to have to be replaced when we get back. That looks about right. And now we'll get up in here, hopefully. Oh, there it is. Yeah, earlier in the missions, this main storyline, getting into the mid-zone, this was where you had to come. And I failed to hit record on the video, so I could have, if I thought. It'd been so long since I recorded a video, I forgot you could hit record the previous, like, hour or whatever. And I probably could have given you all the whole video. What was that? It looked like a... No, it's nothing. I think it was a pneumatube. But... yeah, some of this I was telling in that video, it almost like where I grew up, there was like Reynolds Aluminum Company and some stuff like that, you know, they had bauxite mines. And where the company was, part of it had they had shut down over time as the mines were depleted, but it had buildings. I mean, it just looked like something out of Mad Max. You know, we had all these derelict buildings that were crummy, mixed in with newer stuff. It probably wasn't brand new, but it was crazy looking. I don't know if anything worth getting out and looking at. And then like the strip mines where they were mining them, you know, they do these big holes, and then after a while, a lot of them would fill up them with water. They'd call them like, you know, bottomless lakes and lost lakes, and they were kind of scary looking out, you know, going out in the middle of nowhere with these random huge lakes, and then you imagine, I mean, the water was so dark. 'Cause, I mean, it was like immediate drop off. It was a lot of, you know, you didn't swim on much anyway because I think the water was kind of acidic. But they looked otherworldly to me, like something out of a horror movie. And then I was talking, you know, when you went through those back roads, there was one spot where they had, I can't remember if it had tracks or if it was a walking crane, but, you know, they had like those, I don't know if it's, because the boom thing was going, so I don't know if it was a drag line or one of those with the spinny wheel that digs the earth up. But the thing was huge. I always wanted to get out and go look at it. Like, no, we can't. It's like trespassing or something. But, I mean, it's the biggest crane I've ever seen, or whatever you want to call it. Excavator or dragline or something. I don't even know if all that's there. It's been so long since I've been through there. Alright, let's check this map out. Okay, let's basically follow the road. It'll be a right up here. Yeah, it's talking about scanning, so something may be back in there that I should probably stop and look for. But that's for another video. And if you went back in that area too, you know, after everything kind of moved off, you could find the old houses and foundations. There's like old rail depots that were abandoned. All kinds of, like, you know, back then, which nobody, I don't think, did urbex back then hardly, but people nowadays would love it if that stuff was still there. Okay, so we're going to D2. Everything there is known. Corrosive waterways. Back roads. Two right there. So gas is good, so I don't have to worry about gas. Man, I don't even. At the point I don't need to do anything. Because I was gathering all those crystals and I was like, what am I going to use them on? I mean, I have to build so little stuff anymore. Okay, we'll pull up behind this farm. I can hear it. Yeah, it's pretty much it right there, I think. I don't know why I don't drive up closer. Like I said, I have this thing, you like, I do what I would do in real life. I wouldn't drive the car off in here. Get off the door, Stooge. There we go. Okay, well, swerve you around to there. Really? Hate that. We'll have to get close if we can. Once we get close, that will go away and we can highlight it better if I have to. Now that we're that close, whoa, I'm gonna go ahead and park for a second. Fix my map. Okay, that'll mark those two. What that beep was for. Yeah, you can't hit those car doors either. I tried that. I was going to knock it off now. I came to a dead stop. It was like, boom. Like, dang. Okay, both of them are right here. We'll get the furthest one first. And the closest one. Okay. I turned that off, thank you. That is a damn nuisance. I don't mind music, but I've heard of people getting copyright strikes for having the game music. Some of that stuff that whoever wrote it doesn't want random free YouTube views, I guess. So that's kind of a concern. Alright, it's off to my right somewhere. I think I've seen it. Scottish Moors or something. Hound at the Baskerville. Okay, we're just gonna leave. Nice, the wiper's acting dumb. I'm trying to avoid all this mess because so many of these in the mid and the deep zone give you all kinds of quirks, which is just a hassle. Okay, looks like we're gonna have to do some video. I only got 5 minutes left for this recording. Let's see where we're going, and I'll see what I'm gonna do. Okay, we are in D2 the Myers. So we're going to go to D3 perpetual stability. I'll see. I don't think I can make that a 5-minute video, so I'll probably end up recording a short one, splicing it together, and then just that new area having it a video of its own. Now what's wrong with my engine again? Well, okay. Yeah, there's no way. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this video off, and I'm gonna splice the next one onto it because we've got that audio log and some stuff. I'm gonna fix my engine real quick.